Do you like cats? Trick question. Everyone likes cats. Do you like girls? Also a trick question. Everyone knows girls don't exist. But for this Rimworld challenge, I'll be creating an army of pacifist catgirls who will convert the entire world into their religion of peace. Will they bring a new age to this barbaric world? Or will they fall apart at the first threat thrown their way? Probably. So, let us begin. Welcome to our starting group made up of 3 colonists, that being Chili, Velvet, and Ruble, all valuable members with their specific roles to play. Another key aspect of the setup is the use of the ideology creator, where we create our religion of piss piss. This religion only believes in one thing, pacifism, and if someone betrays that value, they'll get slapped with a mood debuff called depression. Also here, I set our ideology style as Imperial, thinking that it would give us a cool look to our buildings. I was sorely mistaken. And without further ado, our catgirls make their way to the planet. The first few days were rather standard, setting up a storage shack, food storage, living room, and farms producing only the bare essentials for now. Potatoes, cloth, and weed. Now the whole pacifism bit is indeed a bit of a challenge, as if you've played or seen any other content of this game before, you would understand that pacifism is not really a winning strategy. However, that's where you're wrong, as I acquired a mod that allows us to roleplay as the authentic police officer experience. Very soon into the game, we find our first target for conversion, and this is where the second key mod comes in. Spread the Word allows us to convert an entire enemy faction by first proselytizing to our prisoners until they change their ways and see the light, and then releasing them back into their respective societies. Do this 5 times for each faction, including the ones that hate us, and this world will be on its way to become a more peaceful place for all. But while I was expanding the colony and adding new key structures like a church and a hotel, I encountered a bit of a problem. Some of my colonists might have gotten the wrong message and thought we were doing American police roleplay, because time and again they would be bludgeoning our attackers to death with their stun batons. Not good. So I decided to invest some research into learning how to create tranquilizer guns. These are better in every way, as it allows us to take out threats at range and non-lethally. Key to our pacifist ideals. On another note, I begin to construct a prison to hold all of our new guests, now that we don't cave in their skull anymore. And while I'd like to keep them all in a dark hole where I can convert them, it turns out that that's not the best environment to be preached to. So I instead construct a lovely 4-star accommodation with 2 whole meals delivered every day, and what do you know? I start converting prisoners with ease. Soon after, we also finish the hotel I mentioned earlier, which allows us to start earning money from some of the locals who come to stay in our colony for some reason. But oh, what's this? A colonist aligned with no faction happens to land in our territory, and what's more is that they're very skilled at spreading peace at range. Splendid, but there's a problem with them. Look at our colonists. There's something about him that's off. That's not quite right. Yes, that's his race. And no, I don't mean his skin color. Why the hell would you think that? I'm referring to his xenotype, because he is an impid. Not very good for our colony, because nobody is gonna show up if we just have this guy with his horns standing here. Beyond the point, while we can't change his gender, at least I don't know how to, we can change his race, and I believe there will always be a market for catboys alongside catgirls out there. Soon after, we began construction on a grand throne room, as through our various exploits, Chili had become revered as a Yowman for the Empire, allowing them to do wacky things with their mind based on how good their throne room looks. Don't ask me, man. We also continued capturing many more prisoners of war, converting them to our side, including these 2 that we put in the same bed for some reason. I'm not gonna judge. Speaking of these prisoners, once we separate them, Ruble comes along and just decides to start a social fight with one of them. What? And this fight results in Ruble crushing the prisoner's leg, permanently destroying it. Guys, I'm starting to think this colony isn't as pacifistic as I want it to be. Also, this wild woman walked into the colony. I'm sure nothing bad will happen to her. Oh dear. But enough of the negatives, and more of the positives. After numerous raids from the pig people, I have acquired many prisoners that I have then converted to my religion of peace, and sent back to their wild and hostile backwater nation, to the point that their entire faction now sees the light, and will hopefully not be harassing my peaceful catgirl colony anymore. 1 down, 7 more to go. As a way to continue making money, I proceeded to sell a lot of my weed surplus and start diversifying my crop into creating coffee and tea, civilized drinks for a civilized society. However, this time is nothing to look fondly at, as back to back we're raided 3 times. Clearly, the citizens of this planet are threatened by our progress. This allows us to take more prisoners and convert yet another faction to our cause, that being fuck this name, but they're now following the one true faith, bless up. Around this time, we hear word about an ancient piss artifact, so powerful and so righteous that gathering it will allow us to spread the word of peace far and wide, and bring pilgrims of piss to visit the colony. We also have another random woman fall from the sky, who just happens to be following our faith. Graciously, we welcome her into the colony and convert her into being a prime specimen. Now with 5 colonists at the base, I send 3 away to find more information about this precious artifact. And so begins the saga of multiple quests that are really different and definitely aren't go here and interact with this thing. Oh wait, there's also treading on the holy ground of tribals that guard that thing. Well, shouldn't be guarding it then, fucko. Until finally, we acquire the relic, the Bax Caller. Now we can fleece our pilgrims for everything they have. And good timing as well, as that's another faction saved. But will you be saved? I don't know. Is that like button pressed? That subscribe button grey? And if it isn't, then I might need to switch from pacifist to warmonger, and the war is at your house. Like the video and subscribe to the channel, and maybe then you won't be visited by Catgirls late at night. Wait, during our time on this planet, we have been housing a variety of traveling groups at our base, the most frequent of which has been the Exodus Dominion. Now this has come with a great amount of perks, as not only have they become our ally and have a chance to defend us if we ever get raided, but Chile has also required various titles, making them a very important member of our colony, as their word alone can be the thing that gets us off this planet. But only if we play our cards right. But there is a problem, you see. They follow a different religion, and that is no good. If this world isn't fully pacified before we leave, then have we truly won? Nay, but the solution to this problem and the outcome will have to be seen at a later point. Because we just got word of another relic, yeah! And this one's called the Repressive Cube? Huh? Ah yes, of course, another relic to spread the good word, which we will follow up on, but only after we have finished our brand new pacifist nuclear power plant that has absolutely 0 chance of going wrong at all. And while the away group was out gathering information, we converted another faction, leaving us with only 4 more to go. Recently, one of our colonists discovered a mighty fine invention, that being tranquilizer grenades, which is very convenient as in dramatic fashion, we get visited by a group of raiders who decide the best place to land is inside our hospital, where they immediately begin breaking all our furniture. Very rude of them. So Yanni decides to mess up their day and Kobe's in a grenade, immediately putting a stop to the vandalism in its tracks. And because we are a merciful and peaceful colony, we only keep the certain amount of people we need to convert the faction. Now there's something that cannot be avoided in this run, and it is quite shameful. During our time on this planet, we have made a few friends with our outgoing personality. Many cannot resist the Catgirl colony, and I do not blame them. This results in us having rather good reputations with a few other factions, and that's a problem. As you see, when they send groups of guests over to us, they never stay long enough for us to fully convert them, which leaves us with a bit of a conundrum as how we are going to beat this challenge without converting every faction. So what do? Arrest them. I completely ignore the time and effort put into our bond and arrest a random group of travelers passing through the colony for the sole reason of spreading our ideas. And now, we're absolutely despised. But it's worth it, I think. And after finally acquiring the repressive cube and converting the final enemy faction, I came to accept I was going to need to become an enemy to the Empire, after taking only the amount of people I needed from a small group passing through and finally converting the backlog from the other faction. I had done it. This world had fully been converted to the ideology of piss. However, this was no win. The price was vast, and the victory was hollow. So, I knew what I needed to do. For the next many weeks on this world, I would complete a variety of quests for the factions of the planet, so I could get back into their good graces, with the Empire being the most important, as now that I had completed my goal, I needed passage of this world, and this is how I was going to do it. Through the many missions we had completed on behalf of the Empire, Chile had worked her way up to the rank of Countess. This allowed Chile to accept the final mission, which was inviting the head of the Empire to stay at our base for 12 days, and as long as they were not murdered or ate without a table, we would be able to use them for our passage off-world. So the trials began, and despite our conversions, it seemed that there were still splinter factions who wanted the Stellarch dead, and we did our best to defend, raid after raid, and when we all thought we were going to be alright to make it out, Velvet had died. The one responsible for all the conversions that took place had made the ultimate sacrifice in service to the colony. This did not bode well for many colonists, especially her husband Lee, as he needed to resort to heavy drinking to forget the pain of his lost wife. But alas, we needed to push through. Days and raids passed like a blur, until finally, the trial was over. They all looked back one last time and saw the colony in its full glory, and hoped that this world would now be a better place thanks to them.